Hello and welcome to another It's All About the Little Things, where we dive into a game to look for all the little details that made the game great. The goal of these videos is maybe getting some new ideas or learning something from it. This time we're looking at Donkey Kong Country 3. I assumed it probably has lots of nice little details hidden away, because it's the last in the Donkey Kong Country series, but also because it was released at the very end of the SNES life cycle. So let's start with a small shout out to how much care was put into this intro animation. It sets the tone of the game, and because it's so creative and fun, I hardly ever skip it. The game overscreen also has the theme of animation on musical notes. Number 2 is in the world of Donkey Kong Country, saving is done by recording it to VHS tape, which I think is actually quite a cool concept. And to enforce this idea, the game files are also different tapes, and when you select them, they are being pushed into the VCR to play. The idea of everything being recorded also fits in quite well with the credits, in which we see pictures being taken of all the characters. Number 3 on this list is when you start a new game, the main character Dixie Kong walks and jumps into the overworld. I think this is definitely more interesting than just starting somewhere on the overworld or starting inside a level. Number 4, Donkey Kong Country was famous at the time for having a unique UI system, because its UI elements are only visible when you pick something up. I remember at the time around release, people were saying it's because the game is so beautiful, the UI should not be in the way. Besides the clean screen, I also really enjoy how everything you grab moves from its location in the game to the location in the UI. I think it looks nice and it feels more like actually picking something up. Number 5 is that enemies you get rid of. They don't leave dead or unconscious bodies behind, or they don't explode. They actually fly off the stage. This adds to the 3D feeling that there is more to the world than just the platforms you walk on. And it's also a smart solution to get rid of the KO'd enemies. Number 6 is in the save houses of the game. The character Wrinkly Kong has different activities she can be doing when you come in. So she could be playing the Nintendo 64 or maybe do some exercises. Number 7 is that you can honk with the boat in the overworld. This serves no purpose, but you can honk. Number 8 is that in DKC3 collectibles can be invisible and will reveal itself at the moment you touch them. I really like this as an idea to reward curiosity, because you don't go up the little shelter because there is something, but you go there hoping there's something. A more recent game that does this really well, I think, is Mario Odyssey. And number 9 is very small, because it's only one level, but I still like it. It's these doors that close on you automatically, but when you're too late and you get squashed, you don't actually lose a life or lose your Kong. You just get pushed out. Number 10 is very tiny, but it's the floating platforms, and when you land on them, they bounce a tiny bit. I think this makes the characters feel a bit more grounded in the world, and they also give some more weight to them. Number 11 is the tiny animation Kiddy Kong does after collecting a bonus coin. Oddly enough, Dixie only kind of blinks. Number 12 is basically just the idle animation of Kiddy Kong, and again the one of Dixie Kong is a bit less interesting. Number 13 is the tiny pause you get when you pick up your body from a DK barrel. The game, as you can see, pauses a tiny bit. Also, the barrel particles fly off the screen very much like the enemies do. Number 14 is this water skip mechanic that Kiddy Kong can do. This is actually almost entirely optional, I believe. And some players don't know about this mechanic at all, even after completing it. I actually don't know if this is a good or bad thing. I checked and it is explained in the manual, and it's kind of shown in this level right here by following the bananas. But either way, it's a cool mechanic that you don't often see. Number 15 is the fact that in DKC3 the worlds are not made up out of levels entirely in the theme of that world. So a snow world doesn't only have snow levels. They kind of mix and match them a little bit. And I think this makes each world more interesting and fun to play. Number 16 is the Kong letters that you can collect for a 1-up, because they also tell the player how far they are in each level. So seeing the letter O actually tells you you're probably close to the save barrel, the checkpoint barrel. And seeing the letter G tells you that you're close to the end. I think that if they wouldn't spell out a word or not have an order to them, they wouldn't give the player such good info. Number 17 is the fact that the overworld music is actually a lot longer than I thought. I never noticed this when I was little, because I never stood in the overworld for that long. But if you wait long enough, there's actually really cool parts to it. Number 18 are the different flags you see in the overworld after completing a level, because they actually show you how much you completed the level. For example, if you have the DK coin or if you have all the bonus coins. Number 19 is when you play the minigame against Cranky Kong, where you have to throw the balls. Sometimes Cranky gets so upset that he chases you down. Number 20 is explaining things more than once. So in this example, Ellie the elephant can suck a barrel, and it's explained the first time you have to do it. But in a later stage, it's actually explained again, just in case maybe you forgot or you missed it the first time. Number 21 is that when you defeat the boss in a world, instead of walking all the way back to the beginning or to exit the world, there's always this little shortcut, and in World 1 it's a cool cannon. Number 22 is that when you get hit when you have 2 Kongs, there's a little pause in the game that gives you some time to do the next input. So for example, here I get hit and I have enough time to input a jump to continue. Number 23. There are many bears in the game that you have to talk to or trade items with, and they all have the same song. Besides for this bear, whose name is Blue, and he's a bit sad, and he has a very unique song. Number 24 is this very cool jump you have to do to get into the bonus barrel. I think it's kind of cool that the higher you fall, the deeper you end up in the water. Number 25. There's no difficulty setting in DKC3, but because Dixie can float, she's probably the easiest of the 2 characters. And you can make it a bit less challenging by switching to Dixie Kong a lot. There's also many other character differences, like how they hold barrels and how they throw barrels, but also their hitbox size. Number 26 is very tiny, but it's the fact that Ellie the elephant has a water suck animation for only 1 level, and it's this one where she sucks water from the back of the waterfall. Number 27 is when you have 2 Kongs and you get hit. The Kong you get hit with actually runs out the level. I think it's very fun and clever because it doesn't feel like you have to leave him or her behind. She just leaves the level. Number 28 are the auto-scroll levels in DKC3, because it's not just a camera that's moving and therefore forcing you to move. There's always something else that makes it feel more threatening, like this saw or this burning rope. And number 29 is the fact that you can hear enemies before they appear on the screen. And sometimes this is actually very handy, especially in a level like this. Well, that was it for this video. I hope one of these helped you out in any way. Maybe there was something that you could borrow, or maybe something gave inspiration for a new solution to a similar problem. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, peace!